Hey y'all, so this video is going to be scattered and all over the place, but here's a message that I need to convey because it's going to resonate with someone. This is going to be a quick little story time because I need to explain how everything is connected with this whole entire chat. This will not be the video for everyone, so if it is, enjoy. Now, this started a few days ago, and I was somewhere and I had my car parked. I went back to the car and I saw that there was a spider on the side mirror. So at that moment, I knew. I was like, this is interesting. So I told the spider, like it piqued my curiosity right away. I knew it wasn't just a random occurrence, right? Like if you're walking in the park and you see a fucking butterfly, that can be a random occurrence because, you're fucking outside. But this spider, like it made me think, okay, so number one thing to take away from this year, and I'll just make the key points as I go along. If there's something that's seemingly random, but your intuition is telling you to pay attention to it, it's best to pay attention to it. So I paid attention to this spider on the side mirror, and I mentally gave it a message. I was like, I'm about to start driving, so if you want to get out of here, now's your moment to do so. Spider did not get out of there. He decided to stay. Okay. So I was driving, went on multiple different highways, and I keep looking at the mirror. I'm like, is that spider still there? At certain points, I thought I saw the spider, and then at certain points, I thought, the spider already, left or whatever the fuck. Okay. So I'm like looking, and then I'm like, wait, that spider's still there. And then I look again, I'm like, wait, where is that spider? And I would look again, back and forth. Either which way, I'm assuming the spider was there the whole time because when I finally got where I was going to, I parked the car and the spider was still there. Mind you, I don't know what speed I was going, but I mean, on the highway, you're not going slow, right? It was a speed enough that I would think the spider would maybe jump off or fall off, but nope, spider was still there. Okay, so I basically was this spider's personal Uber for that day. And I was like, well, I hope you get to where you intend to go, spider. And then I didn't think of it, but I was like, this is significant. So that was a random occurrence, which could happen at, like I'm sure it's happened many times before, but it was just the fact that I was inclined to pay attention to it intuitively. So I'm looking up spiritual significance of spiders. I asked, some people what are their thoughts on the spiritual significance of spiders and blah blah blah. I'm like, this spider, there's a message there somewhere. So, I was looking at the basic science facts of a spider, how it has 8 legs, and I did not know this, but spiders have some of them have 8 eyes, some of them have 4 eyes, some they say they have 12 eyes, like they have multiple eyes. Okay, which this is going to come in handy as we progress along. So 8 has always been my favorite number, always always always. It's just that I like made the number 8. Okay, ever since I can remember, favorite number is always 8. Spider has 8 legs, cool. Oddly enough, years back I used to call myself, I don't know on what social media platform, but I would call myself Black Widow, Black with a Q, BLAQ Widow. Because why the fuck not? Anyway, it tickled me to do that. So I called myself Black Widow. Obviously, a Black Widow is a spider, which is pictured on the screen. So I can see the connection that I have with, obviously number 8, and I used to call myself by the name of a spider. So, okay. And spiders never really bothered me. I'm definitely not an insect person, but spiders, they don't bother me. They've never really been something that I'm like I'm gonna run away from and shit. So there's that connection. Keep in mind, I'm going about my business. I'm not really thinking too much in it, but in the back, I'm like, I'm gonna see another spider show up, like, So I think it was 2 days after that. Guess what the fuck happened? I think you got it. Another spider showed up. And it was a different spider, obviously, from the one that I gave a lift to, because that spider that was on my car was brown, and this spider that was inside was black. Okay. And I clearly saw them. So there were two different spiders, not the same one. I mean, if it had been the same one, that would have been even more insane, but I'm going to keep going in case any of you are curious. I see a spider. I'm like, all right, you are a messenger for me. Because this spider was directly in a place where I would have no choice but to see it. Like, it was right on the wall, like the archway of the door. Ooh, that's something that is so fucking interesting. I just thought of something now. That's why I love these random chats, because now I'm figuring something out. This spider, when it first appeared to me, you know how like a doorway, like if there's no door but it's like an arch, like you go from one room to another, right? It wasn't on a door, it was like on the side part of the arch, like that separates rooms. So it was right exactly at my line of vision, right? Like at my perfect eye height on the wall of the door archway, right? Which, doors are symbolism of traversing from one area to another. So that's even more significant. So thank you, Spider, for showing me that now. So I see that spider. I'm like, I know this is a fucking messenger. And I didn't do anything. I just looked at it and I said, Spider, please don't bother me and I won't bother you. And, we can coexist here peacefully. But if you are a messenger of some sort, let me know. And I know how fucking weird this sounds, but key point number 2 that I'm going to mention is that if an insect or an animal or anything like that, some creature that you might not perceive as having, like, the sentience or the intelligence to carry on a conversation, know that you can communicate with them and they will understand. I've done this before with animals. Obviously I did it now with an insect. So that's something to take away here. If you have like any type of animal or insect that is visiting you or you sense has a message for you, then you might be inclined to ask it to show you what that message is. Okay, so that's another point. And it could be something as mundane as this. So I let the spider know that I'm going about my business. I'm like doing dishes. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, cleaning or some shit, right? And I'm jamming to my music and shit. And so I see the spider again on the wall, blah, 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 blah. Basically, I kept seeing this spider, okay? I saw that spider flying at one time. Like, it was really fucking interesting. But I'm not going to get into all of the details, obviously. But basically, I kept seeing this spider around. And then at one point, it was crawling across the wall, and I asked it, I was like, Spider, I shit you not, the spider was moving, crawling along the wall. Like, Mr. Spider, if you are here to convey a message to me, let me know now, and please stop walking so that I know that you've heard me and you're listening to me. I shit you not. And I spoke this out loud because I'm a fucking psychopath. I'm talking to a fucking spider. And I shit you not, he done stopped. He stopped as soon as I said that. I was like, please stop walking. Boom, he stops. And then this spider stood there, and I said, I would really like to know the message you have for me, spider. So can you next appear on this wall and let me know if this is true, right? Like, I made it kind of a game, because this spider was going from room to room, legit. Like, I would see it, and then I would turn my gaze away for like a second, and then I would look again and it was gone. And I would look around purposely for it. I'm like, where did it go so fast? Like, I had no idea that, like, I knew they crawled, but I didn't know that they moved so fast like that. Like, it literally, I felt like this was like a magician, like, oh, now you see me, now you don't, right? Like, that's what it was doing. And I don't know if anyone else has ever had that experience, but I thought it was strange. So I was like, all right, let me try to ask it some questions, because it already let me know that it was a messenger. So I'm asking this spider questions about different things, right? Like esoteric and spiritual shit and quantum reality, because that's how I fucking roll. Um, so I'm asking this spider questions, and I'm like, if this is what you're here for, please appear on this wall next. And then I would go do something else. Then I would come back, and the spider would be on the wall that I asked it to go, if that was the answer. Okay, this was a magical spider, and I guess he came through because I gave his homie a lift the other day. I don't know, but if point number 3, here we go. If I had not given that other spider a lift, let's say, and then I hadn't intuitively listened to that nudge to pay attention to this spider, even though it seems mundane, then if I had seen another spider at a later point, I wouldn't even have noticed, right? Like it wouldn't have been significant. But because the other spider occurred and I intuitively followed my intuition, I was like, another spider is going to appear. And then another spider, lo and behold, appeared. And then I was like, okay, I'm sure there's a message for me here. And then I asked it, and it in its way told me that yes, he was a messenger. So I'm asking this spider questions. I'm like having a grand old fucking time with this spider. And I know how this fucking sounds. Like, you think I don't know how this fucking sounds, but I promise you, shit like this does happen. And I don't want another motherfucker to think they're off their rocker if they're having a communication like this with an insect or an animal. And I don't mean your dog or your fucking cat, like an animal close to you, because that kind of happens anyway, right? Because you're so used to your pets, so you know their personality to an extent, right? So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if there's a random anything and you feel like it's communicating something to you, please, this is point number 4, please pay attention to it, because there might be something for you there, especially if you follow your intuition the way I did. So this chain of events led me to finding out deeper discoveries about how reality works from this spider, because those were the type of questions I was asking it. Okay, I just went in, I was like, if I'm going to talk to a fucking spider, I might as well talk about quantum mechanics, because, I mean, who doesn't do that, you know? So basically these are the messages that the spider conveyed. Before I get into that, though, I do just want to say I knew I was going to see a third spider after that second one, and I did see a third spider, not, because things, and this might be a program or it might be just something of creation, but things typically occur in threes, right? Like, so I was like, I know I'm going to see another spider, like in an oddball way, after the first 2 spiders. So this spider I actually saw on my feed when I was scrolling just today. I woke up, and you know how you just fucking scroll shit, and I saw this spider on like the most random, like, I don't know, I don't want to get too into detail, but like I saw this spider in a picture in my feed, and it wasn't something like where it's like a Nat Geo fucking feed where you're gonna see spiders, right? It was just a totally random account that happened to have a spider, and the spider would have had no business being there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a nature fucking feed. Okay, so that it was just so odd, and I had to look back. I was like, wait, is that a spider? And legit, this spider looked exactly like the house spider that I had that conversation with. So I know it's magic. That's why I'm like, now I'm fucking prompted to make this video, right? So that just another key point. If you do, I don't know what point we're on. I think it might be 5, but a key point to take away also here is that messages typically come in threes. Okay. For me, at least. Some of you might notice that too. If you don't, it's fine. But you know, 3 is the number of creation and shit. So I was like, I'm gonna see a third fucking spider, and I know it's magic. And I saw me a third motherfucking spider, and I know it's magic. So, all right. So this spider basically, all of the details, the questions, whatever. And of course, I was channeling the whole time, because when am I not fucking channeling? So I received a lot of downloads. So this spider was basically showing me how the fabric of reality is created. And the first thing that was shown Okay, number one, we said the characteristics of the spider. They have 8 legs, right? So that means they have a good grip on the material realm. Okay, they're also, if you see a spider, it is a sign of wealth and abundance and stability in the material realm coming towards you, because 8 is the number of material realm success and security, right? And also, the spider obviously has 8 legs. And obviously, that spider that I gave the lift home on the mirror, I mean, like, he held on the whole entire ride. Like, that motherfucker, like, he was getting where he needed to go. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was happy to help him. So he stayed on that whole entire car ride. Okay. And then, that to me indicates, if you're intending to get somewhere and you see a spider, oh, trust and believe, you will fucking get there. And you might have assistance along the way, right? Because I assisted that spider, and so that's how I'm seeing it. Okay. So very good for financial abundance. Also, with the spider, they are, with the 8 legs, that's the 8th house of Scorpio in astrology. And with this, a spider is also a sign of like um a newness, an awakening, a freshness. I don't want to say a resurrection because that's not the word that's coming to mind, but it's more like a large shift is occurring for you, and you're coming out of a I don't know what word is coming to mind, but you're coming out of something into something else, and it's not bad or good. It's just a change that you want it to occur. So look at how this spider appears to you. Is there an area in your life that you want to change, or you already feel is in the process of changing, right? A spider is indicative of that and might help you to figure out more what you need to know in your areas that you need or want to change. Also, with the multiple eyes, the spider, if you see one, this is indicative that you have the ability to see between different realities, different sides, different timelines, right? You uh you have the ability to quantum shift very fast because you can see into multiple realities at once, and you have that vision of looking at all of the perspectives and then just shifting into one that best serves you, right? So, like that spider that visited me, I would turn my head for a second, or I would blink or close my eyes or something, and that spider was gone, and there was no trace of it to be found. In different rooms, okay, like it was the same spider, different rooms. I was like, how's this motherfucker traveling so fast? Like, I literally felt like I was going into different realities, because it's like I would turn away for a split second, spider was gone. I was like, where the fuck did it go? And then I would turn around again, and it would be like far away from where I saw. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Okay, so that just showed me the indicator of you switching timelines very fast, or you might have the ability when the spider crossed your path to switch timelines very fast, because this spider was a motherfucking magician. Okay, and the seeing the spider in multiple rooms, that also is indicative of seeing into multiple realities at once, because you're looking into all of the rooms of like the house at the same time, right? Because you have multiple eyes like the fucking spider, so you're looking everywhere. You're very conscious of your surroundings. Okay, now the spiritual meaning of spider is okay. So we have the 3D realm, we have the 4D realm, right? So we want to take it into, we're going to think of the spider and the web in the 4th dimension, which is like the astral realm, where things are created from there, and then they trickle down to the 3rd dimension where they take form into, tangibility. So what we're gonna do is look at the spider and the web from like an ethereal perspective, not a physical one. And the web in the fourth dimension and the spider would be indicative of it's subconscious astral realm energy. Okay, so your subconscious mind exists in the astral realm because it's the mind. It does not have any tangible shape. Okay, so we're going to think of your subconscious mind as the um as like the spider web. Okay, because this is what I was literally shown. Okay, so the subconscious mind is the spider web, and the spider is like the conscious mind. Okay, so it lays out the groundwork because it knows what it wants to do, right? Because a web of the spider in the third dimension is really a fucking trap, right? And it ensnares insects into that web so that the spider can then savor the flavor of that insect and enjoy it, right? So the web in the fourth dimensional astral realm is your subconscious mind, and it's set up as a large spider web magnet, and it's trapping things of tangible form from the 3D to gravitate towards you in your 3D realm so you can live those experiences out and savor that flavor of the experiences, just like the spider savored the flavor of the fucking insect it caught, right? Are you with me? Are you fucking following? You could scroll back if you don't. I feel like I explained that well, but stay with me here, right? So the spider web is everything that's going on in your subconscious mind in the astral realm, and the spider in the astral realm is your conscious mind, because the spider is the one that's designing the web. It's giving the subconscious, it's giving the thread a shape so that it can catch things that are in the 3D, because your conscious mind also exists fourth dimensionally. It does not exist third dimensionally because it's the mind. It has no tangible form. So you, from your conscious fourth dimensional mind scope, you are giving thoughts, because thoughts, remember, they can't take, they're not taking tangible form. You're giving your thoughts to the feelings, the emotions of, the spider web, right? And the spider web is so much bigger than the spider. Okay, that's just like the subconscious mind is so much bigger than the conscious mind. So the spider web is fucking huge, and it's just sticky, and everything that the spider web, your feelings, your emotions, your subconscious mind is weaving, is going to attract things out of the 3D to you so your physical vessel can experience it, but it's all coming from your mind astrally. Does that make sense? Like, I'm seeing it, okay? I see things and I try to explain it as best I could. So what they're showing me here is you are creating your reality because you're spinning your web in energy in the fourth dimension, and then 3D things that are of tangible sustenance, which create your third dimensional realm experiences, gravitate towards that web. And what do you want to do with that, right? What do you want to do? You want to savor it, right? You want to bite the head off and fucking feast on it or some shit, right? Like that's the example that I was shown. So think of your subconscious mind as a spider web that is just trapping experiences to it, okay? And it's gravitating things to it all of the time. It's like a big, huge magnet. And how you change the pattern that is woven, right? Because remember, we're using this as a metaphor. It's not necessarily going to look like a spider web, but the way that they're showing me is that there's like a magnetized energy type of grid that is energetically drawing things that are most similar to it from the 3D realm to present to you in physical form. Okay, so when we think of this, how it relates back to the physical spider is that you are not, okay, the spider is not going to do anything else. Okay, remember, the spider is a representative of your conscious mind, and the web is a representative of your subconscious mind, the fourth dimension. So after the conscious mind spins the web into the subconscious mind is going to be the web, and it's going to allow gravity to take effect. And so what's going to happen after that is that you, in your physical vessel, you don't need to do shit. Okay, because the conscious mind already told the subconscious mind, this is the web we're weaving right now. And the subconscious mind, however long it takes for the subconscious mind to have that set in like their natural set point, that's what's gonna, it's gonna be different for everyone. But the spider then does not do anything, right? The conscious mind does not do anything. He knows that the subconscious is gravitating all that to it, because remember, the subconscious mind receives, the conscious mind gives. Okay, they're the two different energy polarities. So in the fourth dimensional realm, think of the spider as a conscious mind. It tells the subconscious mind what it wants to gravitate towards in the web, and then what happens next? The spider doesn't do shit else. Okay, the spider, he just chilling. He chilling on his web. Maybe he polishing it a little bit, right? He's not doing anything to bring the insects. He's not going out and trying to, like, I don't know, like take an insect and be like, yo, come with me, right? The spider's not doing that. The spider's just chilling. He knows the web is there. He knows that the insects are going to go there. And this is another key point, which I want to say, because that was how reality is, like a metaphor for how the reality is created. So after that, remember, because all of these things are going on in the astral realm, in the realm of the intangible. So in the tangible, if we take it back to the spider metaphor, you don't need to do shit. And it's not like you're waiting either. It's just you're not doing shit. You're not going out and grabbing these 3D experiences, just like the spider is not going out and grabbing the insects to force it to go to the web, right? The spider is just chilling. He knows the web is set, like the trap is set, so to speak. And the insects will come, because they always do, right? Like, experiences always come. You don't need to do anything. And that's really what is the major thing about how your reality is shifting and moving. And it's always, you can see into multiple realities at once, but at the same time, you don't need to do anything physical other than direct your conscious mind from the fourth dimension to your subconscious mind to the fourth dimension, and set a fucking trap. Okay, and what I mean by this, because remember, now we have, like, spiders. They can be known as creepy or devious or whatever. I mean, I don't think so. I think spiders are so sweet, but it's literally like, if you want to think of it from the insect perspective, it's like, yo, this motherfucker set a goddamn trap and all the other insects are falling for it, right? So that's how you want to think of your 3D, right? You want to, from the astral realm, set a trap. You know what your web is woven from. You already know the materials, okay? Is it the finest silk, or is it polyester, right? Like, so how you keep your web, how do you keep your subconscious mind in the fourth dimension? Is it a sparkling web where a lot of insects they can be like, oh, what is that? Let me go check that out, right? That's how you want to think about it. So you're setting a trap for 3D experiences, basically, and they're going to be 3D experiences that are in alignment with your web. So what do you have set in your web, in your subconscious mind, that is now gravitating these 3D experiences towards you? How are you feeling, right? Like, and if you're not feeling great, then you need to go in as a spider and, make sure that web is up to snuff, because that's what's attracting things, right? It's like you have this energetic field around you that's just like gravity, but it's coming from your subconscious mind in the astral realm, and it's just drawing experiences and people to you. But the other key point, I don't know what number on, it's drawing the experiences to you, but at the same time, you don't have to do anything to draw those experiences to you. The web is already set. It's laid out there. Okay? And what I mean by this is, if you know what you want and you're definitely certain that your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are both on board with it, and you'll know they're both on board with it because it'll feel smooth and seamless. Okay, there's not going to be any anxiety or anything crazy like that, but everything is going to be copacetic. You know what I'm saying? If that's the word, I don't even know. But it's going to be, it's not going to feel like you have to do anything else, okay? Because when the spider weaves the web, he don't do nothing else. You're not going to feel like you have to do anything else once you have successfully set a trap in your subconscious mind. And this is taking it back to you jumping timelines really fast and things like that. So you can see into multiple timelines at once, and you keep your conscious mind focused there because you know that your subconscious mind is going to draw those experiences to you, and you don't need to do anything because the trap is already set. Okay, I don't know how many times I have to say that. You can see into the multiple realities, but at the same time, you're not doing anything active to reach out and bring one of those realities closer to you. Much like the spider does not go out and try to, bring the insects home with them, right? Like, he ain't going to the bar saying, yo, you want to come home with me tonight? No, he ain't doing that, right? Like, he just has his web set up, and motherfuckers are like, ooh, what's happening over there, right? So that's how you have to be. Even though you can see into multiple timelines, concentrate energetically on the timeline that you want, and that timeline and all of the things that are magical from that timeline are going to start gravitating towards you, and you don't have to do anything. Does that make sense? I don't know how I meandered along like all the way for 32 fucking minutes. But yeah, those are like the key points. So just to recap this, if you're still here and you listen to all this, you the real MVP. Fuck yes. All right, you fuck yes. What's up? Because that was a lot. I know that was a lot. But you want to, okay, to recap, you see how all of this was connected, right? Everything that I told you about, like my favorite number, what I used to call myself on the fucking, how my intuition was like, yeah, it's just a spider on the mirror, but you should pay attention to this. And then I was like, I'm gonna see another spider, and then that motherfucker's gonna have a message. And then what happened? I went into this whole spiel of seeing into different timelines and spinning webs in the subconscious astral realm, right? So pay attention to something that you're intuitively guided to, because you don't know where it could lead you. Like, it led me on this fucking magical path, right? And it was so mundane but so profound, because I was able to see other layers of how reality is created, and to give another example in metaphorical format, of course, as to how you are bringing things to you. And obviously, what a spider means. And I already went over the meanings of, like, if you see a spider and you resonate with them, pay attention to the meanings that I stated earlier in this video. So always pay attention to something. Also know that you can communicate telepathically with insects or animals, okay, that are not your pets. You can. And this is basically, I don't know, everything that I wanted to say. There are a lot of things that you would think are just mundane, but that you can find profound meaning in it. Like, I didn't know that I was going to be down this path of seeing in different realities just because of the most mundane thing of a spider on my fucking mirror, right? So if you're crossing the street and there's an inkling saying, you know, you typically go that way, but today go this way, you never know what's going to happen down there. And you're, you know, like it might lead you on a magical adventure. Like you don't fucking know. So always follow your hunches. And if you sense that there's a message for you in someone or something or an animal or whatever, ask it, because it will answer you. Just like I asked the spider and the spider stopped crawling and stood still and listened to me. I promise you, you're going to get an answer in that moment. And then it might just lead you down a magical path. So I don't know what key point we're on, but right now, this video is pretty long. So, gracias everyone who stayed to the end. Talk to you later.